All right, guys. Day number 4 in the economy picking week here at Fountainhead TV, meaning that we are knee-deep in economy picking in our studies. It's the 30-day challenge that I've set for myself. So you benefit from that challenge by me giving you 30 days of free guitar lessons. So hopefully you found this beneficial until now. Again, this is more for immediate players and not for like seasoned pros. So in that spirit, we started exploring the basic techniques this week, the basic economy picking motion, little do's and don'ts, and little details. I gave you 3 different licks to practice. And today, this is going to be yet another way that you can apply this technique. So pentatonics, right? Pentatonics, everybody should know this pattern. You know, basic stuff, B minor pentatonic. And so pentatonics have always kind of be a pet peeve of mine because I love playing them, but I don't really like the bland sound of, you know, your standard pentatonic blues licks that everybody's doing. So I've always searched for ways and approaches to make the pentatonic scale sound a little bit more exciting and a bit fresher, if you will. One of the ways that I've been doing that is by playing it in odd note groupings. So odd note groupings could be 5 or 7 or 9 or 11. And, you know, by their very nature, these odd note groupings don't lend themselves too well to alternate picking or sweeping, you know, because they have the tendency to give you this very zigzaggy, unusual patterns across the strings. For example, this exercise for today has 2, 1, 2 amount of strings, amount of notes on the string. So 2 notes on a string, 1 note, 2 notes on a string. Makes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are doing the same thing up 1 string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm playing the root note, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and then the root note again. And I'm leaving out that note. I'm leaving out the 4th. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that basic fingering pattern, 2 notes here, 1 here, 2 here, 2 notes here, 1, 2 notes here, 2 notes, 1, 2 notes. That repeats upwards. Okay, so now picking wise, well, now I'm going to eat my words because I told you guys in the last lessons that in economy picking, we always start with a pick stroke in that direction that we are going to play the lick in question. Now, this is, right away, this is an exception to that rule because we are playing 2 notes on the 1st string and then 1 note here. That means that we want to play a 3-note sweep. So if we're using economy picking, no, we want to have the sweep going as long as we possibly can. And in order to do this sweep, we have to make the 1st note an upstroke. Right, so that's the exception. And then the last note is also an upstroke, which is very convenient because just like when we played the 3-note per string scale shapes with economy picking, we are trying to have the same picking pattern starting over again whenever we repeat the pattern, no matter on which string. So that means that the 1st note and the last note of each group of 5 are upstrokes. Up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, up, up. Which means that we can connect those 2 upstrokes, the last one of group number 1 and the first one of group number 2, by a sweep. So upstroke, then downward sweep for 3 notes, upward sweep for 2 notes, downward sweep for 3 notes, upward sweep 2 notes, downward sweep 3 notes, upward sweep 2 notes, downward sweep for 3 notes. Wow. So it's, apart from that first note, it's all 3-note or 2-note sweeps. And when you are watching my right hand very closely, you will see that little joint motion that I explained yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, go back and check that out. It's really important to make this whole thing work, because through that, that popping of the joint here, I can switch between upward and downward sweeps very rapidly and effortlessly. I hope you can see how the joint moves. Right? And then we can do the same thing descending, and we just have to reverse the picking pattern. So where we started with an upstroke before, now it's going to be a downstroke. For the same reason, if we don't do a downstroke, we can't do a 3-note upstroke after that. And then we connect the two groups of 5 in the same way. Last note of group 1 is a downstroke, and first note of group 2 is a downstroke. So 2-note sweep. And then so yeah, that's the basic technique. One more time. And once you got that going, you should most definitely play that same approach on the other positions of the pentatonic scale. Stuff like that, right? And you can do it obviously in other keys, mix it up any way you like to. You can also experiment with having those same picking patterns go in, other kinds of 5-note scales. I mean, the pentatonic scale is not the only one. You can use the Urayoshi scale, for example. But that's beyond the scope of this quick lesson here. So that's the pattern for today. That's the lick. I hope that was clear to you guys. And now do like and subscribe, ring the notification bell. And there's the next student. I've got to go. Bye-bye.